If you're searching for a solid retractable bed cover for your 2020 or newer Silverado 2500 with a 6.9-foot standard box, you should be checking out this Retrax IX flush mount retractable tonneau cover. Now, this manual retractable cover is perfect for the Silverado owner who's looking for tough security for the contents of their bed, adaptable positioning, and a sleek system that is flush to the sides of the bed for a sharp appearance on the back. It's also not too complicated for a retractable cover, making it easy to open up the bed space whenever you need it and slide it into place whenever you don't. First and foremost, the design of this is super low profile, which is great for the look it provides, and when it's open, it's fairly compact, saving as much bed space as possible, even with the canister. Now, when the cover is closed, this provides optimal weather and wind protection to whatever you have in the bed, and tough security considering that this is puncture proof and locks with the tailgate if you know you need that extra peace of mind out of a bed cover. Now, one of the big highlights here is the manual operation with the quick release handle on the back, allowing you the control to open up your cover as you please, and you can control where you want to stop it if you need to run it partially opened. Now, this comes with quick adjustable mounts that you can position wherever you need to along the rails for this to stop at, opening up a lot of opportunities on how you want to run your bed for specific items that you're hauling. This is made of a durable aluminum slat construction, so it's tough enough to take the heat of anything banging around inside or whatever is set on top of it. Now, the slats are also covered in a scratch-resistant, UV-resistant matte black powder coat to finish the aluminum underneath and protect it from corrosion and help just keep its look over time. Now, the side rails that are included also have a tough aluminum build with the same powder coating and include sealed ball bearings that don't require maintenance, so the cover will roll smoothly no matter how much you use it. Now, this kit also comes with everything that you need, like drain tubes for a weather-tight construction and clamps, as well as all of the hardware for a drill-free clamp-on design. Now, this is about $1,300, and it's actually one of the more budget-friendly choices for a retractable cover compared to others like it. Now, I think what stands out most about this choice is the manual operation and the variable locking positions if you're specifically looking for a tonneau cover that you can control easily, and with that, it's compact and low profile, which makes this look very sharp and helps maintain as much bed space as possible. Now, while it is a premium cover, it's definitely one of the more straightforward retractable systems, so if you want purposeful function and a quality construction, then this is a solid choice for you. Install here gets a lighter 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it should take about 2 hours or so to get everything in place. At this point, I'm going to hand it over to one of our installers. They're going to show you a step-by-step breakdown on how you can install this onto the back of your truck. So that is going to wrap it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you will need a ratchet, a T25 Torx bit, a 6mm Allen socket, or the provided Allen wrenches, and a tape measure. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be installing a bed cover on our Silverado, so let's get started. Alright, so to start off, we're going to assemble our hardware into our end caps and our locator tabs that are going to go into our rails. So what we need for those is our small Allen head bolts that are going to go in through the bottom like so, and our provided lock nuts. We just want to get all these loosely in place. So we'll get our nut onto our bolt. And you just need these hand tight. So we'll do the same thing. These are going to be our retainer tabs for our cover. Send our bolt through the bottom. And our nut. Once you have your first couple assembled, you can do the same thing for the rest of your latches and end cap. All right, so now we have our cover assembly up in the bed, and we're going to set it on the bulkhead and bed rails of our truck. Now, one thing I want to point out is this seal is going to be what lays on the bulkhead of your bed. You want this to lay flat across that. So you want the cover itself to kind of come to the edge of your bulkhead and have enough room for this to lay flat on the top of the bulkhead. So we'll get this up in place. If you're struggling and you need an extra set of hands, I would recommend grabbing a buddy now, but you can get this up if you're doing it by yourself. So Now we'll pick it up and lay it in place carefully. Now we'll make sure our seal is flat and not curled anywhere, laying across our bulkhead. Now we can begin installing our side rails. Now the way to dictate which is front and rear is you're going to have a hole for your mounting screw that's going to line up with this mounting tab, and a small hole at the other end that's going to mount your end cap. So we're going to line our bottom section of our rail up with this, get it into place, and then we'll install our provided mounting hardware. Make sure that's flush. And then you want to do the same thing for the other side, and we'll come back and install our screws. So now we can install our set screws. So we're going to grab our provided T25 self-tapping screw and our T25 Torx bit on our ratchet, and we'll get that in place. Get this lined up. Now once you have this side in, you can do the same thing for your other rail. Alright, so now we can install our latches and our lock nuts for our clamps into the bottom section of our rails to get those in place. So a good little trick to keep track of your lock nut that's going to be used for your clamp is you can thread that onto the bolt that's going to go through your clamp. These are going to be these longer Allen head screws. Just get that threaded on the end. Now we're going to set this one in first because we want a clamp going in at the front of our rail, followed by our forward latch, middle latch, rear latch, and then our last bolt and nut. So now we're going to take our nut and bolt first, slide that in. We're going to take our first latch. You want the nut to go into the rail just like the bolt did. So it's going to be our forward latch, our middle position latch, then we're going to install our second clamp, nut and bolt, and then our rear latch can go in. Now we're not setting these in place just yet, we just want to get everything into the rail so we can install our end caps. Next we can get our end cap in place, so you want the open end to line up with the end of the rail. It also has that nut and bolt that we installed earlier. We're going to slide this in position and get it lined up with the mounting hole for our small set screw at the top. Once we get that lined up, we can install our set screw. So for that, we're going to grab our provided Allen wrench and our small tapered head set screw. And once you have this one in place and you've installed all your clamps and bolts, you can do the same thing for the other rail. So now that we have all of our latches and mounting hardware in place, we're going to set our latch positions. So our forward latch is going to come all the way to the front of our rail. Just about a 1/16 of an inch back from that set screw we installed. We're going to hold that in position. Then we're going to grab our 6mm Allen socket or your provided Allen wrench, and we're going to tighten this down. Make sure that's secure. And once we have that one in, we're going to bring our bolt and nut down. You want it pretty close to that clamp. Now we're going to set our optional middle positioner right about in the middle of your bed. Now you want to base your measurements off of where you put this first one, so you will need a tape measure to set the other side. We're going to set it about in the middle of our wheel well. Again, we'll snug that down with our Allen socket. Then we can set our rear latch in place. So firstly, we're going to tighten down the nut and bolt on our end cap. Then your rear latch, you want flush with that rear mounting bolt. And we're going to bring that rear nut and bolt as far back as we can. You see your bed tapers in, so we can't get a clamp there. So we'll bring it back to the closest open section. And once you have this side set up, you can do the same thing on the other side, remembering to use a tape measure to reference your middle latch position. So now it's time to install our clamps. So we're going to remove our bolt that we set into our nut earlier. We're going to take that bolt, send it up and through. If you have to, you can take the backside off of this clamp for now. You want to get this in. Now once you have that through bolt loosely in place, we're going to grab the back side of our clamp. That's going to go onto our bed rail on the back side. And when reinstall this bolt, get that started. Now the order of tightening this, we're going to tighten down this through bolt first, and then we'll tighten this clamp. That's going to bring this nice and square. So once again, for all of this, you're using your 6mm Allen socket or the provided Allen wrench. Now once you have everything close, you can loosen this back up a hair. I'm going to bring this down. Close to our clamp, but not touching it. And we'll tighten up our other bolt. Now as you tighten these two, you will notice your rail is going to bend in a little bit. That's what this nylon bolt is for. I'm going to very gently send this in. That's going to push your rail back to level. Now once you have your first clamp in, you're going to do the same thing for the other three. Again, the rear clamps are going to go as far back as they can with the open space of the bed. So now we can install our drain tubes. Now these are going to slide into openings that are on the bottom of our main assembly. And the goal of these is to route any collecting moisture out of your bed that comes from the main assembly itself. As you can see, we have a bed liner, so we're just going to run these through the open holes. You have multiple options of doing this. If you want to drill your own hole and seal that up, you can do that, or find an opening at the bottom of your bed that allows this to route out. That's the only goal, so however you want to take care of that. So we'll get under here and get these into place and get them routed. Get that popped in. Once you have this side in, you can do the same thing for the other side. So now that we have everything in place, we want to pull our cover out and make sure it latches in all positions and comes out to sit where our tailgate is, nice and flush, so we don't have any openings or leaks. So we're going to pull this to our first latch position, and to move it, we can release our strap. Make sure it latches in the middle. Now we'll pull it to our rear position. Make sure that latches. Close our tailgate. Make sure our tailgate closes and this sits nice and flush and creates a seal. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our Retrax IX flush mount retractable tonneau cover for your 20 to current Silverado 2500 HD with 6.9 foot bed standard box. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Silverado, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.